Hello, and welcome to the first D2 Crucible review. I'm Kelson, and today we're going to be taking a look at the beautiful Posterity hand cannon. We're going to see how to acquire it, its perks and god rolls, and how it performs in PvP. You might be wondering, hey, this gun's been out for a while, why does it warrant a review? Well, several things coincided to bring this weapon back into the spotlight. Deepstone Crypt weapons became craftable this season, and there was a recent patch, 6.3.0.5, which changed airborne effectiveness and increased the drop rate of red border weapons in the raid, so a craft of Posterity isn't as hard to obtain. Speaking of the raid, Posterity drops from the third encounter of Deepstone Crypt. It's not a hard encounter, but make sure you at least attempt the challenge every time, as that can double your drop opportunities. If your experience is like mine, you can grind the encounter when Deepstone Crypt is the raid for the week, and it should only take about 4 hours to snag all the red borders you need. Now that you know how and where to get the gun, let's talk about the perks it can roll with. Honestly, there are quite a few combinations that are appealing for the Crucible. For any of these combinations, you will want to spec into range, so go for a range masterwork, a hammerforged barrel, and ICARUS rounds. Let's face it, we can also say what the fourth column perk is too. It's Rampage, plain and simple. With just one stack, Posterity can hit those crispy 3 taps. Rampage also recently had the Rampage spec inherently added to the perk, so it lasts a little longer and frees up the weapon mod slot. If you saw True Vanguard's video, then you know his role is killing wind in Rampage. They synergize well and allow for that tasty range buff that is sorely needed on 180s, not to mention the handling buff too. But these perks always require a kill to activate. That's why I prefer another perk in column 3. It's Surplus. It's really too good to not be my main choice. Someone will ask about Rapid Hit, and yeah, it's a good option if you prefer to constantly spam your abilities, but if you can manage using your abilities sparingly, the benefits from Surplus are much better. Really, what Surplus does is it makes it easier to get that first kill. There's more stability to stay on target, faster handling for the cleanup swap, and faster reload for chaining kills. All of it works for getting Rampage going and keeping it going. Then, if you use an exotic that gives an extra ability charge, like 6 Coyote, you can keep more stats on your gun in more situations. Stasis Hunter also gets 2 charges of shurikens, giving them the same benefits without an exotic. You need to use a dodge, then you'll still have the max benefits of Surplus from your 2 melee abilities and grenade. It's a great subclass for Surplus guns, definitely keep it in mind for this one too. I would say use Surplus if you plan on sniping, and use Killing Wind if you're more of a close quarters player and prefer a shotgun or fusion. You'll be thankful for that range buff from Killing Wind in some engagements, and if you're sniping, then you'll have an easier time snagging those quick swap follow-up kills from the handling buff on Surplus. But can this archetype even compete in the sandbox? That's the real question. When looking at other 180s, it's pretty clear that Posterity is the best. They all have similar stats, but Posterity pulls ahead of the pack by having much better reload and airborne effectiveness. The time to kill of 180s is 1 second flat, which is pretty bad. But what they lack in TTK, they make up for in consistency. To get the optimal kill speed, a Guardian only needs to land 2 crits out of 4 hits. What's more is these guns have inherent airborne effectiveness buffs. Look at my Hunter. I slapped on an ICARUS mod and have Foe Tracer equipped, which gives plus 20 to airborne effectiveness. Just with these 2 things, I'm sitting at 84 airborne effectiveness with this Posterity, and let me tell you, that is a nice number to be at. If I'm on target, it is landing shots, period. Players still need to be careful. That high base TTK means that other guns will win in straight up gunfights. That's why you have to get used to peek shooting, and only tacking on damage little by little. Spacing is also very important when going up against SMGs and sidearms. If you can push them just outside their range, then it's an easy W, but if you slip up, they'll win most engagements. As far as a weapon mod, as I mentioned, I'm rocking ICARUS, but if you like keeping boots on the ground, then I would go with the tried and true targeting adjuster. This brings aim assistance up to nearly 100 with a helmet mod, which is never a bad thing. Once Rampage is activated, that's where the fun begins. 1 stack brings its TTK down to 0.67 seconds, just 3 crit shots. This is faster than most other guns. It's crazy really, it reminds me of the not forgotten meta. Those 3 taps are satisfying too, they definitely make the grind worth it. And oh, I almost forgot, there's another easy way to make this gun 3 tap. Just put on high energy fire. If you have powerful friends and radiant light on your armor pieces, then you'll eventually get charged. And when you do, it's open season. To give a short answer after a long explanation, yes, Posterity can definitely hang in the right hands, especially in more populated playlists like Quick Play, where you can really get Rampage ramped up. As far as PvE goes for Posterity, I don't know, Frenzy and Voltshot? Who cares? Anyway, that's the review. If you're a 180 fan, then it's a must grab. If not, then you should give it a try anyway. It might become your next favorite thing. Thanks for watching, Guardians, and we'll see you next time.